Wreath-laying ceremonies were held in the US on Monday as the country marked Veterans Day. Although this year's commemorations did draw protests too in New York, where demonstrators voiced their anger over America's continuing involvement in foreign wars. It came as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff said that the conflict in Afghanistan is far from over, despite all of the promises of pulling troops out.
That effort's ongoing. It's been ongoing for 18 consecutive years. I suspect it'll be ongoing into the future for several more years. That mission is not yet complete.
I also made it clear that our commitment would not be open-ended and that we would begin to draw down our forces this July.
Why are we continuing to train these Afghanis who then shoot our soldiers in the back? Afghanistan is a complete waste. Time to come home.
Recent polls show that a majority of veterans do not believe that the conflicts in either Iraq or Afghanistan were worth fighting. The general public is really unsupportive of Washington's involvement in those wars. The US has maintained a continuous military presence in the Middle East since 2003. It's been in Afghanistan since 2001. The peace talks there, which would allow the US to pull out, are ongoing, although Donald Trump has called off negotiations several times. We spoke to a number of US Army veterans about this. They told us that America's power projection abroad has actually made it less safe.
US military veterans from all wars are very, very concerned about the propensity of the United States to continue to use warmongering as an instrument of foreign policy. And I myself was in Afghanistan in December of 2001 as a diplomat. I helped reopen the U.S. Embassy there, and that's 18 years ago. And at that time, we were telling Washington, you only have a small window of opportunity here. The U.S. Going into Afghanistan in 2001 will ultimately suffer great losses, and the Afghan people, more importantly, as we've seen over these last 18 years, and particularly in the last 6 or 7 years, are suffering tremendous, tremendous casualties and deaths.
We were told that it was weapons of mass destruction, that there were ties to 9/11, that we were bringing democracy to the people. And I felt like we weren't doing any of those things. I think our military-industrial complex is profiting from war. And I think that we've actually made our nation less safe and less secure. And we didn't defend our national security. We created a lot of enemies internationally where we didn't have as deep of enemies. And it's going to create a lot of conflict and strife for the American people and our communities in the future.
All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to say Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Double salutation to all you Akim out there laboring. The house of David is pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers. All right, so I'm back at you with another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit. And it's too late for regrets, and it's too late for apologies. America has ruined the world, man. All right, and people are realizing that, you see. And you have these U.S. soldiers and veterans regretting the Iraq and Afghanistan wars. You know, they weren't even worth fighting, as they said, man. You know, because what you have is people are waking up to all the lies and destructive and the destructive stain America has made on the earth. And these soldiers are just pawns for these politicians and elites, man. All right, to go into these other nations and to steal the resources and oppress the people, man. You know. So America has a lot to pay for, man, you know, and I wanted to touch into that on this lesson. Let me grab this scripture real quick. All right. This is Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai have indignation forever, man. All right. Because now these Edomites are realizing that the whole world hates them, man. Okay? These other nations truly hate America, man. You know? Because everywhere you go on the planet Earth, what do? You cause chaos and destruction, man. You know? You oppress these other nations with your democracy, okay? Your foreign policies, so-called, you know? So people are tired of that shit, man. Just like in the video, You know, he mentioned, what did he say? He said America has created a lot of enemies internationally, man. Okay, because this whole planet, this whole world is crying out against this devil, man. Okay, let's grab this. This is Habakkuk chapter 1 and verse 6, and it reads, it says, "For lo, I raise up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation." You see, and the Chaldeans represent the inhabitants of Babylon, man. Because it's not America a mystery Babylon according to the scriptures, man. Okay, it says, I raise up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation. America means bitter, man. Okay, this is that bitter and hasty nation. It says, which shall march through the breadth of the land to possess the dwelling places that are not theirs, man. You see? And that's exactly what America does, man. They invade these foreign lands, all right? They go in there, they oppress the people, okay? They possess dwelling places that don't belong to them, man, okay? And that's essentially what America has been doing, all right, since 2001, 2003, since they pretty much set up shop in the so-called Middle East, man. You see? Habakkuk 1:7, and it reads, it says, they are terrible and dreadful. Their judgment and their dignity shall precede themselves, man. Because this is a proud nation, man. You see? And it said they are terrible and dreadful, man. Everywhere they go on the earth, they cause terror and destruction, man. You see? Habakkuk 1:8, it says their horses are swifter than the leopards, man. And the horses represent their military, man. Okay? Dealing with Esau, man. It says the horses also are swifter than leopards and are more fierce than the evening wolves, and their horsemen shall spread themselves, man. Okay? Which was discussed in the video, man. It said that the U.S. has a continual presence in the Middle East since 2003, man. Okay? It said that America's continual, the video went into America's continual involvement in foreign wars, man. Okay? Because America has bases all over the world, man. They have embassies all over the earth, man. So this is part of their military, their horsemen spreading themselves, man. Okay? It says, and their horsemen shall spread themselves, and their horsemen shall come from far. They shall fly as the eagle that hasten to eat, man. What is the symbol for America, man? The bald head eagle, man. Okay? So this is definitely them in the spirit, man. Okay, verse 9, Habakkuk 1:9 says, they shall come all for violence. You see? The border of wickedness, man. Everywhere they go in the earth, they establish violence, man. It says they should come all for violence. Their faces shall sup up as the east wind, and they shall gather the captivity as the sand, man. Because this devil Esau has the whole world in captivity, man. All right? He put everybody in captivity, man. He's oppressing all nations, man. Okay? Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man. You see? Habakkuk 1:10, and they shall scoff at the kings, and the princes shall be a scorn unto them. They shall deride every stronghold, for they shall heap dust and take it, man. You see, and what does this devil do, man? They go in these other nations, all right? They change the way of living, man. All right? They change their standard of living to what America wants, man. You know, by pushing the democracy, all right? These westernized ways of living, their foreign policies, man. You know, totally oppressing these other lands, man. You know, they scoff at kings, man. You know, they don't fear these other world leaders, man. You know, just going into the pride of Esau, man. Esau has no fear, man. He is he set himself up as king of the earth, man, God of the earth, man. You know, verse 11 it says, then shall his mind change, and he shall pass over and offend, imputing this his power unto his God. You know. Because pretty much Esau has went entirely way too far with his wickedness, man. And people are seeing that, man. That's why, as this Edomite was saying, man, they're pretty much, America's hated around the world, man. Okay? It says we made our nation less safe, man. You know? Because this place is about to get hit, man. You know? Now Yahweh Shem Yahushua is leading America into World War III to totally finish this place off, man. You see? Let's grab this. Habakkuk 2:5, Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5, and it reads, it says, yea, matter of fact, start at verse 4. Habakkuk 2 and 4, and it reads, it says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. All right, talking about the so-called white man, because this devil is proud, man. It says his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. There's nothing righteous about these devils, man. Okay, it says, but the just shall live by his faith. Verse 5, it says, yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. You see? And what do, man? They push their Western agendas, you know, on these other nations, man. You know, that's why all across the world, what are they pushing? Homosexuality, sodomy, you know, women's rights. You see, all these things that are against the scriptures, man. Oppressing these nations, stealing their resources, killing the innocent, you know, justifying war. This is how this devil transgresses by wine, man. It says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, man. Okay? America's continual involvement in foreign wars, man. You see? The U.S. having a continual presence in the Middle East, man. This devil neither keepeth at home, all right? He's the world's police, man. Policing these other nations and everybody's business. You see? All in these different foreign affairs, man. You know? It says, who enlarges his desire is hell and is death, man. Okay, everywhere he goes is death. And cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations and heap unto him all people, man. Okay? So this is how this devil does, man. He's the border of wickedness, man. You know? Let's grab this. Let's roll in the spirit. Isaiah 13 and 19, it says, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when Yahweh Shem Yahushai overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. All right. So this is the payback for all of America's wickedness, man. You know, like I said, it's too late for having regrets, man. All right. You Edomites are finished, man. And they realize that. That's why this Edomite was saying that you know, America has made its nation less safe, man, because this place is about to get hit, man. These nations are forming alliances against this place, man, to destroy it, man. No peace is coming to the wicked, man. All right. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 23, and it reads, it says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken, man? All right. And that's America, man. The hammer of the whole earth, man. It says, how is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? You see, because this is what's coming, man. You see? Verse 24, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware, thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai have opened his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord, power, Yahweh Shem Yahushai of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans, man. All right? So the Lord is about to do a great work upon Babylon, man. Okay? World War III is going to happen, man. You know? That's why all the troops are being gathered in the so-called Middle East, where Armageddon is going to take place, man. All right? In the valley of Yehoshaphat. Verse 26, it says, come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly, let nothing of her be left. You see? So these devils, man, they got all hell to pay, man. You know, and they know what's coming, man. You see that? Pull this real quick. All right? Let's roll in the spirit. Revelation 18 and 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh Shem Yahushai have remembered her iniquities, man. Okay? So the Lord has remembered all the iniquities of America, man, from its establishment on point forward, man. You know, this place is about to go, man. Verse 6, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she had filled to her double, man. So the Lord said, render unto double unto Babylon, man, unto America. You see that? Verse 7, how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment, sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit as a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. And that just going into the pride of America, man. That this place is not going to see a major war, man. All right? But according to prophecy, man, this place is going to be utterly burned with fire, man. Verse 18. Therefore her plague should come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she should be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah who judgeth her, man. All right. So the point of the matter, all right, destruction is coming, man. All right. So there's no apologies, man, that can be made. There's no regrets, man. All right. America has sealed its fate, man. You know. But Lord willing, that lesson was edifying. I just want to bring this out real quick. I'm going to say, Call Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rekakwadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles. Of great millstone taught me this truth, and double salutation to all you Akim out there laboring. Shalom.